with the psychopath, the man without a conscience. He is the
November 15th, 2023, 38-year-old Kawina Bonmite, also known as Fong, was reported missing. Her last known location was just 2 days ago on November 13th at the Suratani Ratchabat University in southern Thailand. She was untraceable, no messages or calls, and her cell phone was unreachable. But just as the search for her was about to begin, something strange happened. They say jealousy is just one of the many emotions all of us have faced. While some succeed in overcoming, or at least managing this, others take a much darker path. Stay with me till the end to see how this all unfolded. A letter arrived at her parents' home. It read, "I have chosen to do this. Sorry for the inconvenience and thank you for always helping me. If everything falls into place, I will take Mom to live with me. Love you, Mom and Dad." You see, Fong's mom was handicapped and she was dependent on the money Fong sent home each month. At least it was comforting knowing that whatever Fong was up to, she did so with her parents in mind. However, something wasn't quite right. Fong's father had an awful feeling. The letter didn't seem to match the words or the handwriting he expected of his daughter. She wasn't known to be cryptic or write brief messages. Why only mention her mother? And why be so brief? So instead, Fong's father pressed the police to search and believed this letter was bogus. His daughter was in trouble. He could sense it. He pleaded with the media, police, or anyone to come forward with information that might help find his missing daughter. Fong's husband, Por, was also distraught. He openly spoke to the media, pleading for help. Said he dropped her off at university on November 13th, where she was planning to meet some friends, but never heard from her again. Por was giving multiple media interviews and offering full details. The world saw a grieving husband, desperate to keep his wife's disappearance in the news and on people's minds. It seems there was no good reason for Fong to run away, leaving her husband and family behind. She has a comfortable and successful career working for the Thai government as a senior policy analyst, a stable job with decent pay. In fact, she was about to transfer to a new office and was really looking forward to it. Her boss Chavalet said she was very reliable and focused on her job. He didn't believe she would just leave without saying anything. In fact, the day she went missing, she was expected to have lunch with her coworkers. She had placed a catering order just the day before. It seemed odd that someone would plan to run away from their life when they ordered lunch for their coworkers, unless this was to throw off suspicion. Nothing seemed to make any sense. There was no real motive. Also, she had 2 children she lived with, 9 and 11, who relied on her every day. Friends and neighbors described her as a friendly and dependable person. They would go to her for advice because they said her cheerful, positive outlook helped them deal with their own problems. Could this have attracted the wrong kind of attention from the wrong kind of people? The police, and as you'll soon see, the media was very involved in this case. When police spoke to a particular friend, Jern, she mentioned something different about Fong's personal life. On the surface, there was a picture-perfect family that everyone knew. But Jern said that Fong argued. She recalled an incident when Fong went to the water park with her kids. This was a conversation translated into English. Jern, why didn't your husband come too? Fong, I don't want to be in the car with him. Jern, are you having any problems with him? Fong, we don't love each other like we used to. We fight a lot. According to Jern, this arguing and fighting was a well-guarded secret. She shared her opinion that perhaps Fong didn't love her husband anymore, but also stated that her husband loved her very much and was always trying to patch things up. When this news made it to the media, well, right on camera, Por was confronted about the relationship with his wife. Por seemed embarrassed and was stuttering at times. He admitted that his wife and him were going through a rough patch.
คนคู่อื่นนั่นแหละก็พอระยะเวลานานเข้ามันก็อาจจะแบบจืดจางลงบ้างเนี่ยตามปกติเลยแล้วก็จนมาถึงประมาณตุลาปีที่แล้วครับก็เราตกลงกันว่าจะแยกห้องนอนกัน
They had somewhat separated, but they were still living under the same roof. According to Por, they were just like many other couples. The love had sizzled out. Por and Fong had spent more than 20 years together, and despite the separation, he insisted they were on good terms. They had 3 children after all, the eldest being 18, who didn't live with them and went to university. The day he dropped her off at university was so Fong could help her friends with a thesis project. He offered to do this out of concern as it was quite late, to which Fong accepted.
จะมีรถที่มารับอะครับหันหน้าจอดรออยู่แล้วเป็นรถอะไรรถเก่งครับมั่นใจรถเก่งสีเงินสีซิลเวอร์ก่อนขึ้นประตูเขาบอกว่าถ้าเสร็จเร็วจะนอนบ้านเพื่อนถ้าเสร็จช้าเดี๋ยวโทรบอกอีกทีนึง
However, he doesn't recall the name of this friend, only that she needed help on the thesis. As the friend was late, the meeting would have been delayed. Por did not want Fong to just wait outside alone, so he circled around and then dropped Fong off when a friend was there. Fong mentioned to him not to worry about her and she would reach out in a day or 2. Remember this for later, it will be crucial to our story.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Before we continue, kindly take a moment to hit like and subscribe to support this video. It only takes a moment and helps support me in creating these videos. Thanks in advance. Por mentioned that when he dropped Fong off, a bronze-colored car with 2 women inside picked her up. He thought nothing of it at the time, and because of this, he didn't pay attention to the license plate either. Fong is truly well-liked, including by Por's parents. When Por admitted on TV that he had separated from his wife, despite them living together,
ต้นปีเขาก็เกิดเรื่องซื้อบ้านเพราะว่าเขาจะเปลี่ยนสายงานสอบใหม่
this was both news to Por and Fong's parents. It seemed only Zheng or a close group of Fong's friends knew about the separation. Everyone else was in the dark. Por's mom would often visit fortune tellers to help find her daughter-in-law. Up until then, Por and Fong's parents thought they were still together, a man and wife living under the same roof with 2 kids. But the fortune tellers didn't really help. 3 of the 4 tellers shared somber news, ranging from one end that Fong had run away with another man to another that she might already be dead. While Fong was hard to find, another person wasn't so hard to find: Por. He was giving plenty of TV interviews, comments, almost a daily occurrence to a country obsessed with finding out the truth. Many people commented on not just what he said out of his mouth, but his body language or his non-verbal communication. Por was making a lot of hand gestures, fidgeting a lot. He seemed nervous yet talkative, as if this was more of a coping mechanism for him. But it wasn't anything he said or did. Rather, it was his own mother. You see, Por's mother was also speaking on TV and to the detectives, and the version she told them was ever so slightly different than what Por had repeatedly told the media and police. According to her, Por told her that Fong wanted to hang out with friends at the university. This omission of a thesis might seem innocuous. After all, it was just a simplistic version a son would tell his mother. But the detectives, media, and practically anyone watching felt that this was something he was trying to hide. So, as it often happens in Thailand, the public and media took it upon themselves to investigate what happened that night. They collected CCTV footage from locations nearby, looking for this bronze car that Fong went into, a car that would have to pass by the university. They found no bronze car, but their search led them to something else instead. They found a red pickup truck, identical to the one Por was driving, circling the university again and again. This was quickly identified to the one owned by Por, but something still didn't add up. Because Por said he left home at 9:29 p.m. for the 40-kilometer drive to campus. Instead of going straight to campus though, he kept driving around. And instead of dropping Fong off as he said he did at 12:30 a.m., he didn't make it to campus until hours later at 2:35 a.m. That's 5 hours we're talking about, from when he left home to drop her off. It would have been much quicker to just come back home or even park in the area. Why drive around for 5 hours for a simple drop-off? But what's even stranger is that just 4 hours after he returned home, he left again. Why? Pressed on TV about this, He said he wanted to drop off a mattress at a local salvage shop, but the shop did open until at least 9 a.m. He said he knew the owner and left the mattress outside. He wanted to get rid of the mattress because one of his kids had urinated on it. When police recovered the mattress from the salvage store, they spoke to the owner. The owner, Sampan, said he was surprised that someone just wanted to discard of this mattress because it looked almost new. But he said his job was to recover the steel inside, and this was done by burning the outside layer away. But that layer did not burn easily, unlike other mattresses. He said he later learned about Fong and now believes that this was Fong's vengeful spirit wanting the truth to be preserved. Even the store owner's neighbor said that on November 17th or 18th, he reported hearing a woman's whisper near the mattress. "I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?" He and a friend both heard it. Spooked, he lit incense and left a bottle of water, an offering for the spirit. I'm including these paranormal accounts because in Thailand, some truly believe in the supernatural, and it's deeply woven in their culture. A vengeful spirit cannot leave until their wrong has been solved. Many believe that Fong's spirit was indirectly influencing and guiding this investigation. It didn't matter what the truth was. People were starting to suspect the husband. People started to comment. For example, Por was smiling while giving the interview. Did he not care about Fong? Or another comment, why was Por so adamant in throwing away the mattress immediately? Didn't he need to go to sleep? But hey, suspicion alone isn't proof. On November 25th, 12 days after Fong vanished, the answers surfaced, literally. At 4:30 p.m., just 39 kilometers from Por's house, locals reported a foul smell coming from a sewer. A dog had been digging at that spot, drawing attention. One elderly resident recalled something else. Days earlier, she saw someone pouring sand and cement in the sewer. At the time, she thought nothing of it, but now she thinks the man resembled Por. The police searched. Inside, they recovered a body covered in cement and banana leaves. The cement hadn't set, just half covered the body, and they found her. It was Fong, who was laying inside the sewage. She was face down, dressed in a brown long-sleeve shirt and black pants, the same clothes she was wearing the day she disappeared. Her body had decomposed so badly that her skull was visible, stripped of hair and scalp. With a body now, police immediately brought Por in for questioning. He repeated the same story, that he dropped Fong off to meet two friends. She was working on a thesis, but the CCTV footage from the university to the sewer told a very different story. The only vehicle captured in the area that night was Por's red pickup truck. No bronze car, no other women. Confronted with this, Por broke. He confessed. Por admitted that on the night of November 13th, he and Fong argued. He was jealous, convinced she was seeing someone else, and said she insulted him. The fight escalated. Enraged, he pushed her onto the bed and wrapped his hands around her neck and squeezed. He said this ended her life right there. Their children, just a room away, later told investigators they had heard fighting. They remembered the sound of something hitting heavy on the door. The children went up to the door, where Por told them to be quiet and go to bed, as though nothing had happened. When the house fell silent, he moved Fong into his red Isuzu TFR pickup truck. While his children slept, their mother's lifeless body lay in the passenger seat. Around 9:30 that night, he drove aimlessly, searching for a place to dispose of her, but found none. At 3 a.m., he buried Fong's body in a sewer, covered it with banana leaves before driving 39 kilometers back home. The following morning at 7:35 a.m., he got rid of the mattress, as this is where it all happened, and I suspect a lot of DNA evidence was left on it. To make himself not look suspicious, he reported Fong missing on November 15th, knowing all along where she was. Later that day, he went back to check where Fong was buried and threw away her phone and wallet at the Kop Bridge. On November 16th at 9:05 a.m., he bought 10 bags of sand and 3 bags of cement from a construction store. pouring them into the sewer to conceal Fong's grave. Convinced this would be enough, Por worked on his story to misdirect everyone. But the problem is, his plan with the cement didn't quite work out the way he expected, and now he was caught in one lie after the other. That letter that Fong's parents received, Por had asked one of his friends to write it and mail it to her parents. According to people that knew the couple, they claimed that Por was extremely jealous. The fact that she was beautiful, successful, and she was about to leave him, he couldn't deal with it. Secondly, they had some money tension. Fong had allegedly withdrawn large sums of money from their joint account. The friend claimed that this was the root of all their problems, jealousy and money. That was it. That's why they argued. That's why Por couldn't stand it when he knew Fong was about to leave him. With all this now in context, it just makes all those live television interviews all the more unsettling to watch. Now imagine you're in Por's shoes. Could you be pushed to the edge like this? Let me know in the comments and check out some of my other work on screen. See you guys next time.